Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to quickly introduce myself. I'm Syifa Aurelia from the School of Business and Management, Bandung Institute of Technology. In this presentation, we will discuss my research with the title Identifying the Intention of Customer to Purchase Plant-Based Meat. So without any further ado, let me begin. First chapter is introductions. In this chapter, I'll provide you with some background and why it is important to you. Consumers' eating habits have shifted in recent years, with a steady decrease in meat consumptions and an increase in plant-based food consumptions. According to a 2019 Euromonitor International report, Indonesia has the third highest rate of vegetarianism growth. Another study from Euromonitor International found that in 2020, global sales of meat substitute grew by 9.1% in constant terms, reaching $20.7 billion. This growth in the market value of plant-based food, combined with the decrease in meat consumptions, implies that the idea of consumer dietary behavior is directly tied to the purchase of plant-based food substitute. The goal of this study is to look into the factors that influence consumer purchase intention for plant-based meat. This study will use as a 1991 theory plant behavior as the foundation theory to identify the factors that influence consumer purchase intentions. Furthermore, this study aims to provide recommendations for plant-based meat marketers to better understand consumer purchase intention toward plant-based meat, and in order to anticipate future conditions such as the pandemic COVID-19, so that marketers can avoid a decrease in consumer purchase intentions. This research aims to answer these following questions. First, what factors influence customer purchase intention towards plant-based meat? Second, is there a positive relationship between perceived nutritional content, perceived sensory appeal, intrinsic and extrinsic quality cues with attitude toward plant-based meat? Third, is there a positive relationship between attitude toward plant-based meat, subjective norm, and perceived behavior control with purchase intentions? And the last is what is their recommendation for the plant-based meat marketer in order to increase customer purchase intention toward plant-based meat? Research objective is the sections to answer questions that is provided in the research questions. The research objective of this research as shown on the slides. Next, we move to hypothesis development. This study chose to adopt the conceptual framework planned by Hattie et al. In 2020, Benefit et al. At 2009, Lim et al. In 2021. Details are shown in details are shown on the slides. The following are the variables used in this research. Broadly speaking, the main variables used to identify the relationship with purchase intentions are attitude toward plant-based meat, perceived behavioral control, and subjective norms. There are also variables that have a positive relationship with attitude toward plant-based meat, namely perceived nutritional content, perceived sensory appeal, and extrinsic quality cues, and also intrinsic quality cues. Overall, there are 7 main hypotheses, details as shown on the slide. Next is methods that we use in the study. Qualitative research is used to answer the problem in the study. Specifically, if a factor that influences customer intention to buy plant-based meat is not met, plant-based meat sales will increase. Then qualitative research will be conducted to determine what factors influence customer to purchase plant-based meat. As a result, those factors will be used as variables in the study, which will be analyzed quantitatively. To get primary data, the focus group discussion method was used in the study with a semi-structured questions. FGD are held in 2 different groups, each with 5 to 6 participants and composed individually of vegetarian or vegan and non-vegetarian or non-vegan. Consume plant-based meat at least once and lives in major cities in Indonesia as a requirement. Purposive sampling technique was used to identify the participant, and the goal of using the sample is to learn about their knowledge and experiences with plant-based meat consumption and purchasing, and the researcher uses open coding for analyzing the obtained data. The indicator used in the quantitative approach is based on qualitative research, particularly intrinsic and extrinsic quality cues. And to acquire the relevant information, structured questionnaires are used as a survey method. The survey is using a questionnaire with a series of questions to gather the relevant response from the respondent. The study population is considered to be people who live in Jabodetabek and Bandung areas with the age range of 18 until 35 years old and have purchased plant-based meat for the past 6 months. According to Malhotra and Briggs, the minimum sample size for a survey on advertising marketing activity is 200 respondents. The sampling technique that the researcher used in this study is judgmental sampling. All the data is gathered through Google Form, and for this research, the researcher used PLSSM for analyzing the obtained data. Next, we move to the findings. According to the data, it can be stated that flavor, texture, and color nutrition facts, price, packaging, and brand can influence customer purchase intentions. And you can see the details as on the slides. According to the data, it can be stated that the main market for plant-based meat is 18 until 30 years old. Furthermore, this finding indicate that women dominate the market for plant-based meat, though the results are not significantly different from men. Aside from that, it is also possible that these two regions will become the epicenters of the plant-based meat industry. The respondents' occupation is dominated by students. From the data, it can be seen that the majority have consumed and have purchased plant-based meat in the last 6 months. For the first hypothesis, the results of the study found that there was a positive influence between perceived nutritional content and attitude toward plant-based meat. These results are in line with the theory that the increased perceived nutritional content will increase attitude toward plant-based meat. However, in the second hypothesis, the results of the study found that there was no positive relationship between perceived sensory appeal and attitude toward plant-based meat. And for the third hypothesis, the result of the study found that intrinsic caloric cues had a positive relationship on attitude toward plant-based meat, and these results are in line with the theory that explains the distinct hue of plant-based meat compared to traditional meat. Furthermore, in the first hypothesis, this result found that there was a positive influence between extrinsic caloric cues on attitude toward plant-based meat. This result is in line with the theory which explains that price is becoming one of the most explored factors in extrinsic caloric cues that connect with quality, according to Hansen et al. In 2022. The result of the fifth hypothesis found that there was a positive influence between attitude toward plant-based meat on purchase intentions. This result is in line with the theory which reveals that creating product cognition and environmental friendliness was seen as a crucial factor in choosing organic food. Next, in the sixth hypothesis, the result of this study found that there was a positive influence between subjective norms on purchase intentions. This result is in line with the theory which states that subjective norms indicate individuals' perceptions about how their reference group will see them if they engage in a particular action. And for the last hypothesis, the results of the study found that there was a positive relationship between perceived behavioral control on purchase intentions. This result is in line with the theory, which suggests that perceived behavioral control is concerned with an individual's assessment of their ability to engage in a specific behavior. The study conclusion is presented here by responding to each research question through data analysis and discussions. For the research question number 1, according to research findings, the factors that influence someone's intention to purchase plant-based meat include strong interest in plant-based meat, which has a positive impact on health. Furthermore, as a support of someone going on a diet, since plant-based meat contains fewer calories and is healthier. Some people even follow health trends and consume plant-based meat since it has higher nutritional content and tastes like animal meat. And for the research question number 2, there are several variables that influence attitude toward plant-based meat, namely perceived nutritional content, extrinsic caloric use, and extrinsic caloric use. Meanwhile, perceived sensory appeal did not have a positive relationship on attitude toward plant-based meat. For the research question number 3, is there a positive relationship between attitude toward plant-based meat, subjective norm, and perceived behavior control with purchase intentions? Yes, there is a positive influence by attitude toward plant-based meat, subjective norms, and also perceived behavioral control. And for the last, suggestions for the plant-based marketer include paying attention to appearance, texture, and flavor in order to innovate and produce plant-based meat that mimics animal meat. Furthermore, appealing packaging and price will influence customers' decision to purchase plant-based meat. The limitation of this study includes that it only examined organic products in the form of plant-based meat, while organic products come in a variety of forms. Based on the study's finding, it is suggested that future researchers analyze different organic products to determine whether there are any variances in research outcomes. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.